Floyd Mayweather, the blueprint of greatness. Success is a word that many people use, but few truly understand the depth of its meaning. It isn't just about winning a single game, a single fight, or a single business deal. True success is about knowing your worth and having the courage to build a life that reflects that value. When we look at the landscape of professional sports and global business, few names command as much respect, and sometimes as much controversy, as Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Mayweather didn't become one of the richest athletes in the history of the world by accident. He didn't just wake up one day with millions of dollars in his bank account and a perfect 50-0 record. His journey was not paved with luck, and it certainly wasn't a series of fortunate events. Instead, it was a calculated, disciplined, and relentless pursuit of excellence that spanned decades. He took the raw, brutal talent of boxing and transformed it into a sophisticated, global business empire. He saw the ring not just as a place of physical combat, but as a high-stakes platform for entrepreneurship. He understood a fundamental truth that many athletes miss. Every punch thrown is an investment in your personal brand, and every victory is a building block for a lasting legacy. In this deep dive, we are going to explore the intricate layers of Mayweather's mindset. We will look at how his unwavering discipline, his strategic brilliance, and his absolute, unshakable self-belief transformed punches into profits. We will break down the core principles that guided him from the humble, often difficult streets of Grand Rapids, Michigan, to the absolute pinnacle of global success. But this isn't just a biography of a boxer. This is a roadmap for you. We will discuss how you can take these same principles, discipline, strategy, self-belief, and ownership, and apply them to your own life. Whether you are an athlete, a student, a rising entrepreneur, or someone simply looking to find their own path to greatness, the Mayweather blueprint has lessons that can change your trajectory forever. Before the fame, before the private jets, before the custom-made jewelry, and long before the money persona became a household name, there was one thing: discipline. Discipline is the silent, often invisible engine that drives every great achievement in human history. For Floyd Mayweather, discipline wasn't a part-time commitment or something he did when he felt motivated. It was his way of life. It was the air he breathed. He famously coined the phrase, hard work, dedication. And while many people say those words, very few actually live them. Mayweather lived them every single hour of every single day. His training camps were legendary for their intensity and their duration. While his opponents were sleeping, Mayweather was out on the road, running miles in the dark. While they were resting or enjoying the fruits of their previous successes, he was in the gym, hitting the heavy bag until his knuckles bled, perfecting his defensive shell until it was impenetrable, and sharpening his reflexes until they were faster than the blink of an eye. He understood a crucial lesson. He didn't rely on talent alone. Talent is a gift you are born with, but discipline is a choice you make every morning. He built habits that made his talent unstoppable. He knew that in the heat of a 12-round championship fight, when the lights are bright and the pressure is suffocating, you don't rise to the level of your expectations. Instead, you fall to the level of your training. If your training is weak, you will be weak. If your training is elite, you will be elite. Every morning, every night, he practiced until perfection became routine. He didn't just practice until he got a move right. He practiced until he literally could not get it wrong. This level of commitment is what separates the good from the great, and the great from the legendary. Discipline is doing what others won't, even when no one is watching. It's the choice to skip the party to focus on the goal. It's the choice to eat the right food when you're starving for junk. It's the choice to keep going when every muscle in your body is screaming for you to stop. For those of you listening who are learning a new skill, perhaps you're an English learner or you're mastering a new craft, remember this word, discipline. It means staying consistent even when the initial excitement has faded. It means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It means understanding that small, seemingly insignificant daily actions lead to massive, long-term results. Ask yourself today and be honest. Are you training for your dreams with the same intensity that Mayweather trained for his fights? Are you putting in the road work in your own life that is necessary to reach your goals? Success is a marathon, not a sprint, and discipline is the only fuel that will keep you running until the finish line. Mayweather's success wasn't just a result of physical toughness. It was deeply, profoundly mental. In the world of boxing, he was often called a tactician or a chess player, and for very good reason. He approached every fight with the intensity of a scholar. He would spend hours, days, and weeks studying his opponents. He watched film until he knew their habits better than they knew them themselves. He identified their smallest weaknesses, their predictable patterns, and the moments when they were most vulnerable. He didn't just walk into the ring and hope for the best. He didn't rely on a lucky punch. Instead, he planned every move, anticipated every counterpunch, and made decisions that protected both his legacy and his physical health. He was a master of the hit and don't get hit philosophy. This wasn't just about being defensive, it was about being strategic. In your own life, strategy means thinking several steps ahead. It means looking at the landscape of your industry, your career, or your personal goals and identifying the most effective path forward. Don't rush into battles without preparation. Whether you're starting a new business, learning a complex new language, or chasing a major promotion, plan your steps. What are the potential obstacles you might face? What are your unique strengths that you can leverage? How can you minimize your risks while maximizing your potential rewards? Strategy turns raw effort into focused direction. Without a plan, hard work is just noise, it's energy spent without a purpose. But with a plan, hard work becomes a powerful, focused force that can move mountains. Mayweather once said, "I'm not just fighting, I'm calculating." He was always 3 steps ahead of his opponent. He knew exactly when to attack, when to stay back and defend, and when to simply wait for his opponent to make a mistake. That's the mindset of a winner. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. It's about making the world move to your rhythm, rather than dancing to someone else's tune. Take a moment right now to look at your current goals. Do you have a clear, written strategy, or are you just fighting and hoping for a good outcome? Remember, the person with the best plan usually wins, even if they aren't the strongest person in the room. Confidence is one of the most misunderstood traits in the world. Many people mistake it for arrogance, but true confidence is something much deeper. It is a quiet, unshakable trust in your own preparation. When Floyd Mayweather walked into a press conference, surrounded by cameras and critics, or when he stepped into the ring in front of millions of viewers, he carried an aura of invincibility. This wasn't a fake persona or a mask he put on for the media. It was a confidence rooted in the thousands of hours he had spent in the gym when the cameras weren't rolling. He believed in himself even when the entire world seemed to doubt him. He believed in himself when the media predicted his downfall, and even when the betting odds were stacked against him. He knew his value, and he absolutely refused to let anyone else define it for him. He understood a fundamental truth of life. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you. For those of you working on self-improvement, the phrase self-belief is your most important asset. It means believing in your ability to succeed, even when you make mistakes, even when you fail, and even when your progress feels slow. It's that small, inner voice that says, "I can do this," even when the rest of the world is shouting, "You can't." I want you to repeat this to yourself, not just now, but every single day. "I believe in myself." Say it until it isn't just a sentence, but a part of your very identity. Confidence is a magnet. It attracts opportunity, it attracts mentors, and it attracts success. When you speak with conviction, people stop and listen. When you act with certainty, doors that were previously locked begin to swing open. Mayweather's self-belief allowed him to take massive risks that others were too afraid to even consider. It allowed him to bet on himself, both literally and figuratively, time and time again. When you walk with that kind of certainty, the world starts to take notice. Your confidence becomes a weapon that can cut through the fog of doubt and clear a direct path to your dreams. Never let anyone dim your light or tell you what you are capable of. You are the only one who gets to decide your limit. One of the most impressive aspects of Floyd Mayweather's career is that he didn't stop at being a great boxer. He realized very early on that being a world-class athlete wasn't enough to secure long-term, generational wealth. He looked at the history of boxing and saw how many legendary fighters, men who were once the kings of the world, ended up broke and forgotten because they didn't own their careers. They were just employees of promoters and managers who took the lion's share of the profits. So Mayweather made a radical, courageous move. He paid millions of dollars to buy himself out of his contract and became his own promoter. He built the money team, he managed his own promotions, and he kept absolute 100% control of his brand. He understood that talent is only the starting point. Ownership is the ultimate goal. He negotiated his own fights, he controlled the television rights, he kept the majority of the profits, and most importantly, he became his own boss. He wasn't just a worker in the boxing industry anymore. He became the industry itself. That is the very essence of entrepreneurship. Using your unique skills to create value, and then having the systems in place to capture that value for yourself, your family, and your community. Think about your own life and your own talents. What skills do you possess that the world is willing to pay for? What can you turn into a business or a personal brand? Maybe it's teaching, maybe it's a technical skill like coding or design, or maybe it's the ability to motivate and lead others. Your talent is your currency. You must learn to invest it wisely. Don't just work for a paycheck that someone else signs. Work to build something that you own. Whether it's a small side hustle, a growing personal brand, or a full-scale company, the goal is to move from being a participant in someone else's dream to being the provider of your own. Mayweather proved to the world that you can be the absolute best in your field and still be a savvy, ruthless businessman. He showed that excellence in your craft and excellence in business are not mutually exclusive. They are two sides of the same coin. If there is one single powerful lesson that we can all take away from Floyd Mayweather's story, it is this: never, ever underestimate your own value. Throughout his career, Mayweather was often criticized by the media and by other fighters for demanding record-breaking purses for his fights. People called him greedy, they called him difficult, but he never wavered. He charged what he was worth because he knew exactly how much effort, how much sacrifice, and how much elite skill went into every single performance. He knew that he was the A side of the equation, the person people were paying to see, and he refused to settle for a penny less than what he had earned. In your own life, you will encounter people who will try to discount your dreams. They will tell you that you're asking for too much, that you're not ready for the next level, or that you should just be grateful for whatever small opportunities come your way. Do not listen to them. Know your worth and do not be afraid to stand up and ask for it. This applies to the salary you negotiate, the respect you demand in your relationships, and the high standards you set for yourself. For those of you learning English, the word worth is a beautiful and important word. It means the value of something, or more importantly, the value of someone. You have inherent worth. Your time is valuable. Your skills are valuable. Your unique story and your perspective matter. When you truly value yourself, you are teaching the rest of the world how they are allowed to treat you. Don't be afraid to walk away from deals, jobs, or people that do not respect your value. Remember, Mayweather stayed undefeated in the ring because he protected his record with everything he had. But he also stayed wealthy and successful because he protected his worth with that same intensity. You are your own greatest asset. Treat yourself that way. As we bring this exploration to a close, it's important to remember that Floyd Mayweather's journey isn't just a story about boxing. It's a masterclass in mindset. It is a blueprint for anyone, in any field, who wants to achieve something truly significant with their life. Discipline was the foundation of his house, providing him with the strength and the stamina to endure the hardest, darkest days of training. Strategy was the map that guided his path, ensuring that every single ounce of his effort was directed toward a specific high-value goal. Self-belief was the fuel that kept his engine running, allowing him to stand tall and confident even when the world was rooting for him to fail. Entrepreneurship and ownership expanded his reach, turning a physical talent into a lasting, global legacy. And finally, knowing his worth was the shield that kept him undefeated, not just in the boxing ring, but in the much larger game of life. As you go forward from here, keep these principles close to your heart. Remember that your talent is just your starting point. It's the raw material. Your mindset is the engine that will determine how far you can go. You have the potential within you to achieve greatness, but it requires more than just wishing or hoping for it. It requires the discipline to do the work when you're tired, the strategy to plan your moves carefully, the confidence to believe in yourself when no one else does, and the courage to own your value and your future. Train hard in whatever you do. Think smart about every decision you make. Believe deeply in your own potential. And above all, value yourself. That is the secret to turning talent into a business, and turning that business into true freedom. The road to success is rarely easy, and it is often lonely. But for those who are willing to master their mindset, the rewards are absolutely limitless. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Now go out there, Take these lessons and start building your own empire. The world is waiting for what you have to offer.